Hello, welcome. Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today in Unit 7, Marxian Perspective on Development. Let us start the topic Capitalism, Class Relations and Development. Modern industry has established the world market that has given immense scope of development to commerce, navigation and communication by land. These developments again have paved the way for the extension of industries and free trade. The bourgeois class constantly maximizes its profit through expansion of new market, introduction of new technology, extraction of surplus value and exploitation of the proletariat. However, along with these developments, there emerge new forces of contradiction within the capitalist system. Notwithstanding the emergence of new forces of contradiction, the bourgeoisie was very revolutionary in their outlook and action. According to the Marx, the bourgeoisie historically has played a most revolutionary part. The bourgeoisie cannot exist without constant revolutionizing the instruments of production and thereby the relations of production and with them the whole relations of society. Through the exploitation of the world market, the bourgeoisie has given a cosmopolitan character to the production and consumption process. The old industries got destroyed, the old national industries got dislodged. Industry in the capitalist system no longer worked only on indigenous raw materials but raw materials drawn from the remotest zone, whose products are consumed in every quarter of the globe. The capitalist, according to the Marx, also subjected the nature to the force of man and machinery through the application of chemistry to industry and agriculture and modern technologies such as steam navigation, railways, electric telegraph, canalization of rivers, etc. All these facilitated the scope of free commodification of the economy at world scales. There also emerged free competition accompanied by social and political institutions to adapt to it. The modern capitalist, however, according to the Marx, has inherited and nurtured the seeds of its destruction in its own womb. In proportion to the growth of the bourgeoisie, there has emerged the modern working class, the proletariat. These laborers who must sell themselves piecemeal are a commodity like every other article of the commerce and are consequently exposed to all vicissitudes of competition, to all the fluctuations of the market. For Marx, the essence of the capital is to maximize profit through commoditization of the production process. As long as capitalism is based on private ownership of the means of production, it maximizes profits of the private producers. This profit is again maximized by exchange proceedings from money to money by way of commodity. Gradually, the proceed from money to money by way of commodity ends up with more money than one had at the outset. To explain the source of profit, Marx talked about the theory of value, wage, and surplus value. To him, the value of any commodity is roughly proportional to the quality of human labor contained in it. The wage capitalists pay to the workers as the compensation for the labor power the worker rent to the capitalist is equal to the amount necessary for the existence of the workers and their family to produce the merchandise for the capitalist. Under the capitalist system, workers receive the wage which is less than the actual duration of the work, that is, less than the value of the commodity he or she produces. Here comes the notion of the surplus value, which refers to the quality of value produced by the workers beyond the necessary labor time. Under the capitalist system, the workers do not get the wage for the quality of the value produced beyond the necessary labor time. In return, the wage received by a workman is restricted only to the means of his subsistence and survival. Marx calculated that the price of a commodity and therefore also of labor is equal to its cost of production. In proportion, therefore, as the repulsiveness of work increases, the wage decreases. With the increase in the proportion of the use of machinery and division of labor, the burden of toll of labor also increases in terms of increase in the working hours and increase in the quantum of work. Gradually, the number of proletariat also increases to gain more strength and awareness. The lower middle class, the small manufacturer, artisans, peasants also join the army of the proletariat in their fight against the bourgeois. To Marx, all previous historical movements were movements of minorities or in the interest of minorities. The proletariat movement is the self-conscious independent movement of the immense majority in the interest of the immense majority and against Marx writes, in depicting the most general phases of the development of the proletariat, we traced the more or less veiled civil war, raging within the existing society up to the point where that war breaks out into open revolution, and where the violent overthrow of the bourgeois lays the foundation for the sway of the proletariat. Here we want to close this lecture. Thanks for listening.